Of course, there is still drama in Bryan Kohberger land with the release of the official release from Cellebrite of Bryan Kohberger's stupid selfies, and it came with a bunch of drama. So first off, I want to give you guys the Google link. I want to put it in a link below, but I'll put it on my Patreon. But even if you're just a free member, you should be able to access it. I don't want everyone hitting this link all at once and the site to crash. I know that stuff can happen. Anyway, finally, we have confirmation, Bryan's dates of these photos. So if you want to download all of them, feel free. I'll put that on Patreon, or you can just, download it from the link provided to me by Cellebrite. But you guys might remember the controversy. Like, I did a video like 2 weeks ago when that Idaho 4 2020 2-hour special came out. And I saw the selfie photos, only some of them, and it gave credit to Latah County Sheriff's Office. And remember, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I had put in a lot of public records requests. Latah County Sheriff's Office said, we don't have those. And so now they're even doubling down, explaining more about News Nation's attribution to them and everything, and it's making more sense. Cellebrite is releasing them directly to the people who requested them. So again, check the links below. We get to learn Bryan's journey. I see how Bryan was in Chicago at this one vegan restaurant at the beginning of his journey, June 25th. It helps to see dates. It really helps me to know exactly the metadata of the photos, and now I can finally see it for myself, and you guys, whoever wants to download the photos, can do it also. First, let's talk about this drama. So remember 2 weeks ago, 2020 is like, yeah, we got these from Latah County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office told me, no, they didn't get them from us. That was on their promo video. Their promo video had attributions to Latah County Sheriff's Office. By the time the actual 2-hour event rolled around that Friday night, there was no attribution. They will talk about that in a letter sent to me today. And also, more selfies came out. I don't understand the drip drab. I majored in business. I didn't major in journalism. Anyway, back then it wouldn't have been all this type of journalism online in the manner that we use it now anyway. However, obviously there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Reportedly, I heard 2020 was promised the photos first. I don't know how that stuff works. But anyway, let's get into talking about why I believe the Chicago stop may have been Bryan's first stop en route out west in June before he ever moved into Washington State University, into those step-toe apartments. And where exactly he was, again, thanks to the help of the Redditors. But let's talk about this dramatic letter first. This letter I received was from Stephen, I can never pronounce his last name. He's the civil deputy prosecuting attorney, Stephen Kwiatkowski. Now he says, our office has been made aware that photographs, specifically of Bryan Kohberger, were advertised by ABC as being released from the Latah County Prosecutor's Office. Our office did not provide these photographs of Bryan Kohberger or any others to ABC. ABC has been made aware of this and has corrected the attribution to correctly state that the photographs came from Bryan Kohberger's Android device. So I was just checking the get info on the photos, and it says a Samsung, some kind of Samsung, and I was wondering, Samsung SM S908U. I was wondering if that was Bryan's exact device. Maybe it was. So I guess that makes sense. I don't know who put that attribution on there. It could have been a simple error, oh, this is where that came from. And so, of course, with ABC, even just the promo getting millions of views within the first hours that it dropped, of course, many people would say, oh, let me contact the Latah County Prosecutor's Office and I'll get the photos for myself. I'm sure they got tired of getting a lot of requests, so they were like, oh. So ABC corrected it. That was fine. The prosecuting attorney goes on to say, similarly, these photographs were attributed by News Nation to the Latah County Sheriff's Office. And they're saying the Latah County Sheriff's Office has never possessed these photographs nor provided them to anyone. They're like, let's be clear. We've never even had them in our possession, let alone did we give them out. Like, don't worry about it. We were not giving these out to anyone. We didn't even have them. So I do remember when on the Ashley Banfield show, when we saw more and more and more of these crazy selfies, the shirtless ones, all of that. I do remember her saying she got them from authorities or whatever, and then she cut to Bryan Inton, and he did state they did come from the digital experts. So yeah, he stated, yeah, they came from Cellebrite, I believe is how you pronounce it. They say Latah County is not the custodian for these photographs, pursuant to Idaho code, whatever. Any photographs which Latah County is the custodian have been made available on Latah County website, latahcountyid.gov. And then they give us, for further assistance, contact Cellebrite for assistance, and they will provide a link for the photographs. And so that's what I did. And they're saying your request for release of records pursuant to public records law has been reviewed by legal counsel for Latah County. And if you're aggrieved, you can always file some kind of appeal. I was just grateful we finally got to the truth. So now that we know that, let's take a look at more of these selfies. And the very first one that always caught my eye. This is how they were given to us. Basically, there's two files, two separate folders. His selfies before November 13th, his horrific crime, and his selfies after November 13th. We also had this Hex Mad Greek redacted photo and Kohberger timeline. So let's just look through them together first, because I want to show you this very first photo, which always intrigued me. Alrighty, so let's look through these together. This very first one always intrigued me because Bryan's obviously outside. It looks like it's nice weather. When I first saw it, honestly, I was like, could this be near the Mad Greek somewhere? What do? You turn to Reddit. It's like, help. And of course, people gave crazy answers. Oh, he's outside. What do you care? Most people were much more helpful. One person was really helpful, and they let me know exactly where that BK Bryan Kohberger photo was taken. His very first one. And if you can see here, it's dated June 25th, 2022. So he must have been on his way from his house in Pennsylvania. He shared with his parents June 25th. I don't know if they exactly left their home that day and traveled straight through to Chicago. Maybe they did. Maybe they drove exactly there. The name of the restaurant is this. Can't believe it's not meat. So it's 53rd Street, which is so ironic. Fun fact, it's the Hyde Park area of Chicago. I'm used to be pretty familiar with it because I attended Kenwood Academy High School in Hyde Park. But, as I was scrolling along, I was like, oh, this looks so different. And some people did. They were really good. They noticed, wait a minute, those parking stickers behind Bryan, they look like Chicago. So some people noticed the green parking sticker and then that building back there. And people were like, wait a minute, Moscow doesn't have perhaps a building that looks like that. And I was just searching, and then I matched it up. The green gate in the back, or the green, whatever you call that when you're sitting outside at a restaurant, that's what really caught the eye of some people. And they were able to find it right here. And it's like, oh my goodness, he was there. And then that building is right back there. So we will go through these quickly because I know you've seen a lot of these already. But there it is, the green gate. I wonder where he parked. See, this date is July 25th. See more dates, I'm wondering. So this is when he was there. Well, no, he was there in 2022, but not in July. So back in July, it looked different. Yeah, it really looked different. There's the awning, the dark awning, and then there's the, I can't believe it's not meat. I wonder how long it's been there. Obviously, oh, that place has been there a while. Okay, it wasn't there back in 2016, but apparently that place showed up at some point. I read it got like a lot of great reviews. So by 2019, that place was there, and somehow Bryan heard of it. I can't believe it's not meat. So by June 25th, 2022, he made his way there. And perhaps he and his dad did drive 11 hours straight. Maybe he had heard about it. I don't know how often they stopped on the journey all the way out west, but obviously Bryan had heard about it. I looked up their social media. They have great reviews. So no wonder Bryan would say, maybe he said, "Dad, I know the perfect place to stop along our route in Chicago. Can't believe it's not meat." And he sat there. Who knows what he had? I wish we could find like surveillance videos. That's been 3 years ago, but it would be interesting. Initially, I had no idea what date this photo was taken. So part of me was wondering, oh, was this taken near the Mad Greek? I didn't know where and when until the lovely Redditors figured it out. I didn't know where and when it was taken, so I thought, oh, could this have been after, when they're on the route back? Could it help police, get more details, even though we know the case is done, he's convicted, but finding a murder weapon never hurts, you know what I mean? It was interesting to see, no, this was June 25th. It was en route on the way out west. And so let's fly through the next ones. I don't know if these are accidental selfies or what. There's June 25th again. It looks like he's somewhere wearing a different shirt than before, darker blue shirt, I guess, unless that's just the lighting change. And then he waits till June 28th and he takes his in-car selfies. Now by then, I'm assuming he has made it out west. I don't know how long it took them to get there. I don't know where they stopped. But we kind of have clues. Other people might recognize these photos from June 28th. He's standing in front of a body of water and you see like mountains in the background. So we can realize, oh, yeah, he's probably out west by now. And some are just so similar. It's just different vantage points. So this one, when he's standing in front of the water, says June 29th. And again, June 29th. And again, June 29th. So he went from the 25th to the 28th of June to the 29th. And now a car selfie, June 30th. June 30th. And I wonder where this one is. I'm sure someone would recognize it. I should try and figure it out too. It's June 30th, and it looks like an eatery, but it has like curtains on the wall perhaps. Where could that be? Someone likely would recognize it. By June 30th, what had he figured out and found out west? The bathroom selfies start July 7th, 2022. So here are the July 7th ones and the thumbs up ones. He's hiking. This is, remember, before that pool party. He was invited to that pool party on July 9th. So at this point, he's out there. Maybe he hasn't really met too many people, if anyone. I'm sure his dad's probably already returned home by now. So he's maybe just taking a bunch of solo hikes. July 8th, he's sitting there, and this is why I know people would like to download the photos themselves, to kind of just, zoom in. It's some kind of Bill's welding, I think, in the background. Of course, that might have nothing to do with Kohberger. I'm not going to associate them with him, but it helps us locate his haunts, his places. Where did he like to go? That's the creepy one. I don't think Nike will be using that anytime soon for their ads, unless it's an accident. It's like you see the Nike swoosh and then you see the weird photo. Like maybe he took a photo while he was running, so it's blurred. So that is July 8th. The same day as this previous one. And we're at July 8th again. He's really sweaty and he's standing, there's a cougar or something behind him. Must be a cougar because aren't they the WSU Cougars? So he's gone for a nice nighttime run. He's nice and sweaty. Maybe he feels very self-satisfied. And again, there he is. We've moved on to July 11th and he's holding up those papers, and some of them I don't see his name on. July 11th. Now that one I do see his name on. I'm assuming he's in his apartment at home. He's changed. He likes to wear, I think, a lot of blue. So anyway, he's staring. We still don't really know exactly why he took those photos. Some people surmise it's for different kinds of websites, maybe financial websites, something where you have to do a self-ID. You have to prove you are who you say you are. A lot of times people might do that on Reddit or, they used to have kidnapping victims do that or whatever, like to prove it's really me and I'm alive and here you are, but it's probably for some type of website. July 12th, it's a photo of him in a tree, and July 19th, he starts looking at his jeans and he's trying to see, do these jeans fit? So when you get these, you know, you'll be able to zoom in better like I am. I was trying to like figure out, you know, what size are his jeans? July 19th again, looking at his jeans some more. And again, July 19th. And one more, July 19th. He just wants to see different vantage points. You see his, Pure Life water down there and soap. And again, he's not looking ominous. He's looking maybe kind of insecure or just checking himself out, taking the photos. Towel on the rack. Still a lot of July 19th photos. Now we move on to August 8th. So there he is again wearing blue, some kind of baseball game. August 8th, I guess a lot of people could track this down, where exactly he is. And yeah, the pretty woman back there, looks like she has her phone or camera set up and there's lighting on her, so we know what he's really looking at. And he's even giving a smile, like, it's creepy. It's almost like he's like, oh, look, she's in the photo with me. Let me smile. And she, meanwhile, has no idea, I'm sure, that some creeper is creeping on her. And then he gives another kind of closed mouth smile. So there we go. These photos are pretty clear. And I wanted to do the get info really quickly to kind of show you. Yeah, the dimensions are huge. And it's saying it's from device make Samsung, and there's the device model. So I find it interesting to find the metadata of the photos too. That's why we like to see the raw, real photos. August 8th, again, he's still probably snapping away at her, the blonde, and she's, of course, paying him no never mind. Looks like he's in front of the Capitol, August 9th, 2022. Oh, and I see his water bottle, and it looks like it really pains him to smile. I don't know why, it just looks like he hurts when he smiles. So we're at August 9th. August 10th, again wearing blue, and there's a mountain behind him, and he's smiling. August 10th. August 10th, another hike, I guess. August 10th. Part of me wonders, did he go off to some of these locations to hide the weapons the weapon he used, or weapons, we don't know, and the clothing, did he do that? Another thumbs up, August 10th. Thumbs up, August 10th. Now we're still August 10th, and I'm sure someone would recognize that's a pretty beautiful photo. Look how high up he is, and you see the clouds are, you know, settled down there. It looks like he hiked perhaps pretty far. I know people would recognize where this is if you're out west, if you're used to hiking. So he turned serious for that one. And then August 10th, another kind of serious one, and another painful smile one. I had written down how many are in each one. The before selfies, before November 13th, I believe there's like 91 of them, I want to say. Yeah, 91 selfies before November 13th and 48 selfies after. So technically there's a total of 139 selfies that have been given to us via that link. So this is really pretty. I mean, this is gorgeous here. Wherever he is, it looks really high up. Swiss gear, looks like Under Armour shirt. So August 10th, August 10th, August 10th, he's doing the look away selfie. You know, that people laugh at those because when there's some pensive photo of someone staring out the window, people are like, well, all you did was, you know, set your timer and put your phone over there on a tripod or wherever. And, you know, then you run over and turn and look pensive as if, oh, what? You're taking a photo of me? It's pretty funny. But he's got a lot of sunlight there, August 10th. August 10th, another one. And the shadow of his phone in his face, August 10th. And his arm is shadowing him, August 10th. Again, August 10th, August 10th. And now it's still the same day. I don't really know if these codes, if they are time codes, they might not be, because some of them don't correlate to military time. But it looks like here the sun's going down. You know, he took all those other photos and now the sun's going down. It's the same day, August 10th, but it's after the other photos. So at some point I would have said, oh, it's a sunrise photo, but no, it looks like the sun's going down. And he's still up there, wherever, August 10th on this mountain. Now this one, I guess we've seen before, but I couldn't remember if we did see it. It is also August 10th. I'm not sure if it's after his big long hike. I guess it would have to be if these are in order. I mean, I have them ordered by date, but I don't know if they're truly ordered by time, the time he took them by that day. Are they sequential? But there's a lamp in the back and it looks like perhaps another restaurant, and I was trying to figure out where he was. So I'm sure you eagle-eyed viewers will know where Bryan is. Now we're moving on to August 14th. 4 days later, he's giving another thumbs up on some hike. August 15th, he's back in his bathroom taking another selfie photo, but it's not like he's trying to take a photo of himself in jeans or anything. In fact, his shirt is a little like maybe he's already been on a run or something, and he's got his headphones. And is this when it started, you know? So I think, yeah, we could see the store on here. It should be a Ross, like a Ross Dress for Less store. He's trying out a shirt, and these ones where he's starting this, you know, bathroom selfie or the shirt selfie, is he just doing it just because, or is he starting his Christian Bale American Psycho phase? This one's a little blurry again, August 17th, but obviously he's just been on a run or something. He's holding up a selfie and it says August 17th. At first I didn't see that one, so it really verifies the file name is August 17th. It goes along with the date he's holding up, August 17th. In the bathroom, in front of the shower curtain. Now we're at September 7th. He's obviously perhaps checking out just himself or his new haircut. This is perhaps checking out his haircut. We are at September 9th again for these. So from August 17th, I don't know if any other photos were in between of anything different or anyone different. Did they just release these selfies? Or were there more photos on his phone that we don't see? I don't know. But these are September 7th. And he's taken that close photos of, like, it looks like little nicks in his hair, you know. So I don't know if he cut his own hair. I mean, I know when he came there in July, we heard that voicemail of him requesting a haircut. Did he go back to that same hairdresser woman? These are great detail. I mean, look at that detail. My goodness. I don't remember seeing that detail before. So I'm wondering if he cut his own hair. Yeah, these photos are great. Very high quality, some of them. And these are the weird ones where he's making a fist. Oh, that looks creepy. My goodness. I hadn't seen it like that before. It looks so creepy. Oh my goodness. And there's another one. Even though his mirror is dirty, like you can see, just, oh, it's so creepy. Oh my goodness, that was really creepy. And this is obviously later. So now, instead of these creepy October 17th photos, we move on to November 8th. So, time is winding down. It's scary. His hair has grown in a bit. And I just like looking all around. And he's just like looking at his hair. And I'm looking all around his home and his apartment, rather, and trying to see details we might have missed. Creepy. Okay, so he's looking all in a mirror, you know. More haircut, so maybe he's obsessed with his hair, his clothing. Now this just says video capture. I wonder if the videos have been deleted, and I don't know, because this says video capture. 2022, there's only 4. So these video capture ones, I wonder if we can get the videos somehow. Okay, so we have the video capture ones. Whoops, since they're named differently, they came up differently. So this video capture one we're looking at is September 25th, 2022. So that's why those are out of order a little bit. And now we're looking at a video capture. This must be, you know, I don't know if it's a live photo. You know how, well, I don't know if Samsungs do that. Like iPhones take the live photos. Maybe Samsungs do, but this might have been a screenshot from a video, or it might be kind of like a live photo, which is kind of like a GIF or, you know, moving little photo just a few seconds long. This is from October 23rd. So there are a few of these. I think it's only 3 of these that are out of order. The same one, October 23rd, same shirt, looks like the same kind of sweat stains or whatever on it. So that's all those are. So I think we've made it through the entire before November 13th file. Now we're going to look at these selfies after November 13th, and then we'll take a look at these 3 extra little photos. I just might as well open them now. And we'll also take a quick look at this Kohberger timeline. So selfies after November 13th. Yeah, these are the really gross ones. These are the really gross ones too. Let's see here. I want to make sure I have them sorted by, yeah, sorted by name. So yeah, this is where they start up again, November 13th, 2022. Well, the document tells us what time, but now we can literally see better, so much better, that Band-Aid. And his hand, it does look kind of swollen there. This is really high quality. And his knuckles are so white and just creepy, because you know what's happened. And then there's one from November 25th. So some of these eventually will be when he makes it back home. But this is November 25th. Obviously, he's still in his apartment. What is that down there? That's interesting. It looks like he has toilet paper over there. I mean, I see down here, which is, you know, the baseboard, it looks like. But over here, past his Michael Kors jacket, it's looking like he puts toilet paper on his toilet seat. Which, I mean, I know a lot of women do that. I just didn't realize maybe, and we know he doesn't like germs or anything. And I mean, it's his apartment. I'm sure he's been cleaning it, bleaching it, spick and span, but it's interesting that it looks like toilet paper on that seat. And again, he's checking either himself out or something out. He has the headphones on. This is all December. These 3 are December 2nd. So he's trying to smile again there, December 2nd. And I didn't notice that before. You can clearly see like paper, toilet paper on the toilet seat. I think that's what I'm looking at. So I wonder why he has it there. I mean, I understand maybe guys do that too. I mean, I know women do that when we go out to public restrooms, especially, but usually not in our own private bathrooms, because we're cleaning those ourselves and it's only us and our family using it generally. So there he is, taking another, like using his arm like a selfie stick. Yeah, these photos are really clear. Wow, I don't think I've seen them this clear before. I guess I should see if the info is the same here. What am I doing? It's like I'm forgetting how to do something I do almost every day. Get info. So it's still saying the same Samsung. The dimensions are still pretty large, so great photos. Not giving kudos to Kohberger, just kudos to the equipment. And here we are, another selfie. You know, I don't know, maybe I've seen this one, but I don't know if I have. I'm just checking out all the details here. I can't tell if there's a Band-Aid on his hand or not. Don't really see injuries. And part of me wonders if that's what he's looking for too. Is he looking for injuries? I'm wondering. Wonder. And then this is when the gross selfies. This is also December 2nd. So obviously he's taken off his shirt. Well, it's not the Band-Aid. You just see the injury. You see the injury there. You see the injury there. And what else? Any other injuries? Maybe not. I don't know. So we're back to December 5th. More thumbs up. December 5th, WSU shirt. December 9th, the weird, strange, goofy, I don't know what these are type photos. He pulls his hair back on December 10th. He's wearing that WSU Cougar shirt again, or hoodie, and December 10th, and I'm trying to look for any injuries. It's harder to see because you can't really see his hands. December 16th, he's in the car. I think definitely they were on the road, him and his dad at this point. Maybe they were almost home. December 16th, just snapping crazy selfies. December 16th, who knows where. Now I believe he's back home. December 18th, smiling in front of, again, I don't see a Band-Aid there, but you know, more feminine type artwork in the back. So I think he's at his parents' house, and perhaps even, I don't know, somewhere like where his mom would have a room decorated. We know Bryan Kohberger's mom liked that home decor, that home decorating Reddit sub. That's what she was in. So I think she's a decorator. So there he is, you know, behind that feminine photo, or in front of that feminine photo. And again, he's pulling his hair up in front of his face. I don't know if he wants to check out his hairline, his forehead. There's a beautiful dog. People are like, he does not deserve to be kissed by a dog. So we know he was worried about his dog when he got arrested. So there's the dog, I guess. And this one, he's perhaps, this looks like any Pennsylvania or Midwest type of basement, probably, with those, you know, with the ceiling tiles like that, and with the, what do you call that, clapboard, you know what I'm talking about, the type of paneling, and just all the stuff, the food, the whatever, him with his hat on. That looks like an Under Armour hat. Is that the one he bought? I thought people were saying, I didn't know it was an Under Armour brand. I don't know if that's the one he purchased. We saw the receipt for. There's Champion. He's got his other hand down. I'm looking at, I can't tell if there are injuries or what on his hands. Looking, you can't really tell because it's from so far away, and you just see the food storage, and that was from December 19th again. This one, December 19th with the dog. December 19th again. December 21st, he loves that WSU hoodie and a hat. Again, December 21st. December 23rd, he feels the need to take a shirtless selfie again. I don't know if he's in the basement or there's a chair there. Where could he be? I would hope he's not in the kitchen doing this, but I don't know. And then we have this one where he's flexing. Is he doing that because he thinks he just looks so good, or what? Little does he know the cops will be there for him. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Okay, so this one, he has groceries hanging back there on the door. I'm not groceries, sorry, trash hanging back there. And there's water back there. Flexing, there's, you know, a water picture, there's a mixer, there's a blender, and again, he's just flexing, but apparently not flexing for the gram, just flexing for himself, I guess. And there you go. And another flex. I guess we've seen this one, I don't know, you see chairs, it looks like it could be a dining room or something, and there's a clock back there, so we can kind of see. It might be the middle of the night, who knows? We are still December 23rd. Now here we are, Christmas Eve. Looks like he's in the car. Christmas Eve, just sitting there. Christmas Eve selfies, not really looking at the camera or just doing the Bryan thing. December 24th, and now we are at December 25th, Christmas Day. We can see that photo better of the heels, so obviously it's in the bathroom because now we see a shower curtain. He loves his bathroom selfies. Now Christmas Day again, just sitting somewhere, maybe on a couch. December 27th, hair back again. December 27th, straining to smile, holding his hair back. And I was trying to see what's over there. Looks like maybe spaghetti sauce, I don't know. December 27th, a serious pose with his hair back. Maybe he was considering like, I should slick my hair all the way back. December 28th, it's like the countdown for him being caught. December 28th, that creepy kind of Ted Bundy hoodie look. And this one photo is clearer than December 29th, second photo. And what time is it back there? Is that like almost 1 a.m. or what? And he's around, creeping around the house in that creepy hoodie. This says video capture. So now let's look at these two video capture ones and see what the dates are. So November 26th, he's still back at WSU, I guess, in front of his apartment. So that's it for the photos. This I also will include. It's just some kind of download on December, basically 26th. So basically they said late Christmas Day into the next day, he was visiting all these URLs. And it's some kind of EDU site, and it has all the serial killer timelines. So anyone who wants to go get that can get that document or get that photo, and they can literally type in all those if they want to and see what he downloaded. Most of them were completed. One was canceled, but I guess he downloaded a bunch of PDFs about different serial killers. And then we've seen this before. These look like, I guess, YouTube videos he visited. It says modified December 27th, 2022. So if you recognize some of them, I know there's like the behavior panel we could see, and we could see True Crime Rocket Science. He did a video about that, like why Bryan might have watched that video. And we see Nancy Grace. So all of those, I don't recognize all of them, but that's apparently what he was watching. And then this weird thing, this little file says Hex Mad Greek. We know they were searching for different key terms, like what could have been the connection. And so when they pulled up Mad Greek, they saw, okay, we don't know if Bryan literally, clicked on this, but he might have searched for vegan restaurants near me and was presented with the option of viewing Mad Greek. So obviously he found that vegan restaurant in Chicago. Bryan was probably the type to Google, okay, where am I? What's the best vegan restaurant near me? He may have planned well in advance. Like they may have found that, can't believe it's not meat. He may have found that quite in advance, and maybe that was part of the plan. Let's stop there in Chicago. And he probably, before he even arrived in Washington, he might have known about the Mad Greek. I don't know when this search came through. It's kind of hard to tell. But you see Mad Greek. Check out this review of Mad Greek on Google Maps and everything. And one thing that kind of creeped me out was it says extraordinary experience, and our waitress was exceptional and took fabulous care of us. She was working alone the evening we stopped in, and she did an excellent job taking care of everyone. Impressive. We felt right at home. So I was like, what if Bryan read that review? And he's like, what? Vegan restaurant, impressive waitress, working all alone at night, Of course, there was probably cooks or something in the back, but I was like, could Bryan have used that as an opportunity, to go haunt the waitress, the server? Was it Xana? Could it have been Maddie? Or was it someone else? And was he attracted to, let me go there, because they're like, whoa, this server was working all alone. Did he use that as an opportunity to stalk someone else? Maybe. Let's just look at this really briefly, this Kohberger timeline, and then we'll close out. So the document they also gave us was like this Word doc, and it talks about November 11th, 2022, Bryan powered off his Wi-Fi. So why did he do that? Was he doing it in preparation for what he was about to do on November 13th? So we've seen some of this before, but we'll just go through it. November 13th, 2:54 a.m., his phone goes dark. He manually powered it off. The Wi-Fi was off, the cellular data was disabled, the phone was fully charged. So it was like, they explained he had to literally push it off. It's not like, oops, I ran out of battery or anything like that. He literally turned it off. 2 hours later, 4:48 a.m., his phone was powered back on. Then at 6:13 a.m., he called his mom. She didn't answer. Called his dad. Mother, father. Called father at 6:14 a.m. Once she answered, they spoke for a total of 36 minutes. So, of course, that would be like whenever his mom answered, it would be a 3-hour time difference back east. So he's talking to his mom, but he's not talking to her, at 6:13 Pennsylvania time at 8:03 a.m. So he already talks to his mom for more than a half an hour. And then at 8:03 a.m., he's calling his mom again and speaks for 54 minutes. That is just so long. Like, was he just keyed up? Did he tell her anything? Maybe not about what he did. Maybe he was just really upset or really keyed up or whatever. Or maybe it was a normal routine, a normal day. A normal day, he's talking with his mom, as usual. But that's a lot of time to me for like a 27-year-old or however old he was then, year old man to just speak with his parents. I mean, it would be cute if it wasn't who he is and what he had just done. At 9 a.m., he spends 9 minutes on the phone with mother, 4:05 p.m. for 2 minutes, then 5:53 p.m. for 96 minutes. He spoke a total of more than 3 hours with mother on the phone November 13th. That's a whole lot of talking time to anyone. I would just want to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. So then they explain the selfie after he came back from King Road. After 9 a.m., the selfie photo was taken at 10:33 a.m., that first thumbs up, with his bathroom mirror with a Band-Aid on his finger, along with his hands and knuckles appearing reddish, white at the tips from apparent scrubbing. So he probably scrub. Christmas night, they talk about that extensive research that Bryan did from Googling those serial killers. All Christmas Day searches were on his Android, not his PC. He did these searches and downloads during the late hours of Christmas into the morning of the 26th. We only have the downloads and not the search history because that was cleared, or it was either done in Chrome in their incognito mode. So Christmas Day until the next day, super late evening, early morning, he's looking up Betty Lou Beats, Randy Kraft, William Lee, Cody Neal, Danny Rolling, Joel Rifkin, Ted Bundy, Altemio Sanchez, Glenn Rogers, Carrie Stainer, John Wayne Gacy, yeah, he was from the Chicago area, Harvey Glattman, Paul Bernardo, Rodney Alcala, Robert Hansen, Gary Ridgway, David Parker Ray, Cleophas Prince, Danny Rawlings, same file a second time 1 hour later, Ed Kemper, Dennis Rader, and more, all serial killers. I think he had just adopted this evil personality and he's like, maybe this is what I'm going to be. Let me study these people. Let me see how they perform their crimes. Bryan probably wanted to move on and do it again. Danny Rawling was searched for and downloaded several times. The first was November 19th, 2022. And then on Christmas Day and the day after. Now, during the dark periods around the murder, we only have bookmarks and downloads as he used private incognito browsing and or cleared his Chrome history. December 29th searches on his PC were psychopaths, paranoid, wiretapping, serial killers. After reading an article about police searching for the subject's vehicle, Bryan's vehicle, he checked the Moscow PD website and read the latest press release where police confirmed they were searching for a white Hyundai Elantra. So he's probably like, oh no. He immediately began searching for an auto detailing shop, then began shopping online for new vehicles. So was he at first like, oh, let me get my car really clean. Let me get it detailed. Then he's probably like, oh, let me paint it. I don't know. But then he's probably like, no, let me just buy a new one. Google Chrome download URL with Danny Rawlings from November 19th, 2022 on Android, not on PC. And then here's all the Android downloads. November 14th, fingerprint recognition PDF. I'm going to have to look that up. November 26, 2022, and all the way through December 10th, December 14th, December 16th, December 19th, all those Moscow homicide update PDFs. Then, Christmas Day and the day after, they talk about all the serial killers again he searched for. And then December 28th, another Moscow homicide update. And then 3 different Moscow homicide updates. Then this University, Idaho, Hyundai Elantra's parking registry PDF. It's a Fox News thing, so he looked that up. And then on December 29th, Wayne Nance, another serial killer PDF. And now they speak about the Google Maps cache for Mad Greek. It was likely that file was created on an Android when a user searches for something like nearby restaurants, bars, etc., and the results are displayed on the phone. Could this mean BK was in Moscow searching for food? Yes. Could this mean that he was in Washington and searched for food? Yes. Regarding the Wi-Fi has the same name as the restaurant, Mad Greek, so it's difficult to say if that Wi-Fi was shown here or passively detected. So that's it. Woo! A lot of Kohberger stuff. And I still don't know. We still have more stuff coming in terms of interviews and Lord knows what else. But hopefully it won't be this convoluted, leaking out. Because a lot of us like to get the actual documents, the actual photos for ourselves. Zechariah 7:10. Do not oppress the widow or the fatherless, the foreigner or the poor. Do not plot evil against each other. So that's a lesson that Bryan Kohberger could have taken to heart. All this studying he did, all the criminology studying, everything he overcame, almost like it was for naught because he used it to plot evil against other people. Maybe he did feel like he had lost everything, his whole career, his whole image, when he was going to be, kicked out of WSU. Everyone eventually would find out, but he could have used it to plot his life going forward. Maybe he was like, I cannot go back home a failure. Well, then he could have undertaken something totally different, tried a whole new life. He did not have to turn his angst or anger into this ire and attack these 4 beautiful, innocent people. It just makes absolutely no sense. Well, that's what we have for today. Again, if you want it, look for the links below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll keep up with this case, many other cases. I got Stephen Stern's documents. There's so much I want to create videos for, but I'm like, I have to do this one at a time. Thank you so much. Take care.